obviously the weather and just being close to beaches. I grew up on the coast all my life pretty much. I always grew up surfing, so it's good to come up here where the water's a bit warmer and the weather's a lot hotter. Would have to be Campbell Brown without a doubt. You know, obviously I'd heard a lot about him before. You know, we became teammates, but you know, he's a very funny guy, and you know, I think he's great for the younger boys because you know he helps them relax before games. Always likes to have a joke around before games, and yeah, he's definitely a very funny guy. I was pretty nervous but excited at the same time. You know, obviously I'd played with these guys for 10 years and, you know, knew a lot of their strengths and weaknesses, and I guess, you know, to have the opportunity to come up against some of those guys, it definitely was fun. But it would have been good to be a little bit closer in the game. I think they ended up beating us by 50 or 60 points in the end. But, you know, it's a moment I'll never forget, and I'm sure I'm going to come up against those guys again over the years. Well, if everyone could keep a secret on here, I am actually Sonny Ray. In disguise, I actually dress up in a suit, but keep that one quiet. I think the second year will be another real learning year for the club. You know, I think most of the guys have played, you know, 15 to 20 games, and I think once they get about 50, 60 games under their belt, you know, then we'll have a chance at winning a premiership. So I'm saying probably the 4th or 5th year, and yeah, I've got a 5-year contract, so hopefully before my time's up. Miami, and LeBron James would be my favourite player. I know a lot of you people probably hate that because you either love him or you hate him, but you know, he's an exceptional player, and some of the things he can do, you know, none of the other players can do throughout the league. So I'm hoping they can get up this year and shut a lot of the haters up. That'll be good. All right. Well, I actually haven't shaved it for a while, but I'd shave it every 3 days, I reckon. I don't actually get the razor out. I just get the clippers out and shave it. And I think there was another question maybe in there about what kind of moisturiser I use. I don't actually use moisturiser. It's just very shiny. My dad obviously plays a massive role in my life. You know, he's I would say he's probably been the most influential person in my life. He's always been encouraging of everything I've done to date in my life, and always said to me, you know, whether I play football or work some other job, you know, that he's proud of me no matter what. Look, I don't regret leaving Geelong. You know, it was obviously a tough decision, and you know, there's parts about it that I miss. You know, I think the biggest thing is just being around the boys down there. You know, I played football with them for 10 years, and some of the memories we had and some of the things we achieved down there, you know, I'm never going to forget. And I do miss the boys at times, there's no doubt about that. But as I've said many times, you know, it's a new challenge up here. And, you know, I think it'd be even more satisfying if I could win a premiership up here, you know, having so many new faces around the club and starting from nothing. So I do miss it, but at the same time, I feel I made the right decision. I'd have to say Geelong will be right up there again, Hawthorn, Collingwood, I think the 3 top sides last year. I think if things can go, Carlton's won in September, if they have a chance of winning it, they're probably my 4 sides that I think have a chance. I definitely know I don't underrate him. You know, he's a teammate of mine for 10 years, and you know, been such a consistent player over those 10 years, and he's won a Brownlow now, Norm Smith, 3 premierships. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that don't underestimate him, but you know, I'm sure the question's coming from some of the people in the media that maybe don't talk him up as much as maybe people like me respect him. So he's definitely a great player, and you know, he's going to go down as an all-time great of Geelong. I think the biggest thing is just to move on quickly. I think if you think about it too much, then it definitely is going to affect your performances, in the next game. I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't really thought about that too much. I'm a person that moves on pretty quickly and focuses on what I can do in the next game and what I can do at training to improve on where I didn't play well. And I think that's the most important thing. Yeah, great tip, which I mentioned before, that my dad taught me from such a young age, is to learn to kick on both sides of your body and learn to hand pass on both sides of your body. I can still remember when I used to kick around with my brother in the backyard. He'd chuck me the footy and say, "All right, mate, for the next half an hour, you've got to kick on your left foot and you've got to handball on your left side." And there's no doubt that that's helped me, in my game today, because it's definitely important. Yeah, I have a certain routine I like to follow. It's normally a pretty relaxed day, the day before a game. We'll have a early morning training session at the club. I like to get down to the beach a couple of times and do a bit of recovery. I do a little bit of reaction work as well with tennis balls and things like that, just to make sure I'm switched on and ready to go. And pre-game, pretty similar things. I like to get up, go for a bit of a walk, a bit of a swim at the beach, a bit more reaction work, and I've got my certain diet that I like to follow as well. I would have to say Joel Selwood, an absolute champion of the game. I know when he first got to the football club, he really impressed me, the way he went about his training, and even just the kind of guy he was. I was the kind of guy that would get around the club and ask the other boys how they're going outside of football, and it's no doubt why he's the captain of the football club, because he's a great leader, and I just love the way he goes about his footy. I'd have to say Michael Jordan. I think most people say that. Whitey. If I don't mention my girlfriend, I'm going to get in trouble, because I've been asked this question a few times and she always has a go at me if I don't mention her. So Lauren, you as well. Third one would have to be, I'm actually a big fan of Chris Brown. I know I'm going to cop a little bit of flack for this, but I'd have to say Chris Brown. Massive fan of his music, and I've always wanted to meet him. NBA or golf, without a doubt. NBA is probably my second favourite sport outside of AFL, and I think golf would be a great lifestyle, travelling around the world, playing the world's best courses, and making the kind of money that they make. Look, I won't lie. As much as I wanted the boys to win it, it was tough, to see, I guess. But at the same time, as I said before, I'm so close with a lot of those boys still. I went along and watched the preliminary final against West Coast. Spoke to a lot of the boys throughout the week, and it was really stoked they could go on and win another premiership. For a hotel, I would say the Standard in the Meatpacking District, I think it is. Definitely a great hotel. That's somewhere that I stay every time I go there, and worth going along having a look. For a restaurant, I'd say Beauty in Essex. I actually went along there last year and actually sat 4 tables from Jay-Z and Beyonce, which was a pretty cool experience. Pretty tough to get in. I was very lucky to get in, so if you can get in there, that's definitely a restaurant you should check out. I'd have to say New York again. I went there for the 3rd time last year, and it's an incredible place. I reckon if I wasn't playing footy, I'd be a massive chance of living over there. That's how much I loved it. But look, I enjoyed just getting away with family and friends. I actually took my family over a couple of years ago for a white Christmas, and Lauren took her family over as well. And it was pretty special to spend Christmas over there with both our families, and definitely a place everyone has to check out. Thanks everyone for the questions. I hope you enjoyed the answers. I'm sure I'll do it again soon, so for everyone that missed out, you'll get another opportunity to send your questions in.